Hello everyone, my name is Kasler Dawson, and today I will be introducing you all to the math manipulative that I chose for the Tools Technology video post assignment. The math manipulative that I chose is called Voltec Magna Tiles. And on the back of the box, it tells you like what it comes with. So it comes with your large squares, small squares, right triangles, equilateral triangles, and isosceles triangles. So there's 3 different types of triangles that it comes with, and then 2 squares, but they're different sizes. And then it also just gives some examples of what shapes that you can build, which I feel like would be good for the standard that I'm going to introduce to y'all. So these Magna Tiles, they can help students develop math, science, spatial, tactile skills, fine motor skills, and it's just in a fun and creative way because it lets students have hands-on activities and build and use their creativity. So these tiles come in different shapes, as I've said, triangles and squares, and the shapes come in different sizes. So you have your small square, and then you have your larger square, and then you have your 3 different types of triangles. And then, like I said before, they come in different colors. So they come in red, purple, orange, blue, and green. Being that these tiles are magnetic, you can do different shapes. Like you can create different shapes such as rectangles, trapezoids, hexagons, pentagons, pyramids, and more. There are many ways that educators can incorporate this math manipulative, such as like when you're teaching shapes, colors, pattern recognition, symmetry, and many others. This tool is great to use in the classroom because it encourages children to think critically, and also encourages imaginative free play. The standard that I chose to go along with this math manipulative is KGSR8. So identify, describe, and compare basic shapes encountered in the environment and form 2-dimensional shapes and 3-dimensional figures. So this is a kindergarten standard, and I chose this standard because I have hopes to teach kindergarten in the future, and I would love to use this math manipulative tool in my future classroom as well. So to go along with the standard, just identifying the basic shapes, so just laying shapes out in front of my students and letting them identify the different shapes that they see. So the triangle, the square, you can even connect the squares, you'll have a rectangle. So just letting them identify the shapes and then letting them describe them. So describing what they see when they look at the shape. So the first thing I could do is just show students the different Magna Tiles and ask them, what shapes do you see? Where have you seen these shapes in real life? Because the standard wanted them to connect back to shapes that they have encountered in the environment. So I could just ask them, have you seen these shapes on windows or a door or buildings, a book, road signs? And I would be sure to like show them like those objects and how they can easily spot these shapes on those objects. So showing them a picture of road signs, or showing them like the book or the shape of a book as a rectangle. So just so that they can easily spot those and make connections. The next thing I could do is to provide each student with several different Magna Tiles. So each student will have 1 tile of every shape. So 1 small triangle or 1 of each of these, and then your small square, and then your large square. And then I will have the students sort the tiles by shape and ask them questions such as like, are these shapes the same? Are these shapes different? How are these shapes the same or different? So back to the standard, just comparing basic shapes. And then I would ask them, like, can you make any new shapes using the shapes that you already have? So if you can, how will you make those new shapes? So just letting them start to figure out, you know, that you can connect your tiles to make shapes, and let them, you know, have a little fun with it. Next, I can hold up a 2-dimensional shape and a 3-dimensional shape. So like your 2-dimensional shape would be just your small square or your large square. And then you have your 3-dimensional shape, which is like a cube or a pyramid. And then I will be sure to let them know, like, your 2-dimensional shape is going to be flat. So this square would be a 2-dimensional shape because you can lay it on the table and it lays flat on the table. And then I would let them know that your 3-dimensional shape is this cube. So if you was to sit a 3-dimensional shape on a table, you can see that it stands upright. So questions that I would ask is like, what do you notice about these two shapes? So I could hold the cube and the square and then ask them what they notice about the two. So obviously this one is laying flat, this one is standing upright. And I'd be sure to point that out. And then next I could give each student just more Magna Tiles, enough that they can build with, and I would have the students show me a 2-dimensional shape of their choice as well as a 3-dimensional shape of their choice. So they could easily, you know, to make a 2-dimensional shape, students could connect 4 of the smaller squares and create a bigger square, which is a 2-dimensional shape. Or students could connect 4 small triangles to make a pyramid, which would be a 3-dimensional shape. And just letting them see that, you know, like seeing these objects on a flat surface and how one is flat and then one is standing upright, and just making different shapes with it. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this math manipulative, and thank you for listening.